Alright, welcome back everyone to A Programmer Plays Ghost 1.0. You may have noticed in the previous episode that it just stopped. There was no outro. That's because the game crashed, and we were already over the point at which I prefer to have my videos lengthwise. So rather than record an outro, append it back onto the thing, slap in technical difficulties, edit it, re-export it, the whole thing, I was like, all right, you know what? We're just going to upload it in that form, and then we'll do this. But this game is on very thin ice right now because depending on how much of that video wasn't corrupted there at the end when this game crashed my entire computer again for the third time, depending on how it worked, we might be... Wow, this is actually worse than I thought it was. What is... Oh, no. Okay, well, the game respawned me with my helper droids, and it respawned me significantly after where it should have, which means that we have to refight that boss, which I'm not happy about. Boy, this is a quit moment for me. Like, I'm really struggling not to just call it here. Interesting that the turrets didn't come back, though. So maybe the bosses also counted as still killed, and just that's the respawn point that we had to work with? I don't necessarily believe that. Oh, interesting. And this is why the elevators needed these buttons up here, because they might not have the right stuff? Ooh. No, see, alright. I'm not happy. I'm a particularly unhappy camper with this game right now, because there is very clearly a save icon right there. We've done that. We hit that last playthrough. There is video evidence of me hitting that. We've been through this segment. Shit. I'm very annoyed about this. I can't believe that this game's gonna make me redo this stuff. Dang it. I hit the wrong button. Ugh. So, yeah. If this series just cuts off just suddenly, it's because the game crashed and I don't have it in me to keep playing and dealing with it. That's where we're at this point. Wow, this is actually like really far back. I'm very annoyed. And for what it's worth, after that last crash, I did check on the Steam forums to see if anyone else has had that particular crash. Dang it. Last time I dodged that beautifully, and this time not so much. And I didn't see it, but I did see other people complaining about some of the other things that I've not liked about this, such as you roll in the direction you're aiming, not the direction you're running. Whew, that was almost a huge mistake. Alright, another save. So you would think that that would be saved Oh. Okay. This set piece is cool on paper. I'm not against this set piece, but if you're having to like develop like janky corner cases in your save system in order to have it, then I'm not sure that it's worth it. Another save. In theory, we're saved here. We're not actually, but on paper we are. Why is my little dude not... Okay, cool. Love that. Don't love that. This is really putting a sour taste in my mouth for this game. Why? It was picky last episode, and it's going to be picky this episode, I guess. Alright, running through this again. Another save, you know. No big deal, just a bunch of saves that we didn't get to keep. I'm so irritated. I'm not gonna do the skip, even though I feel like we're entitled to it at this point. Oh, come on. Because I do want to see, like, the cutscene at the end of it, which got cut off for me. Alright, one of these is down. Climb. Climb. Climbing, the ladder stuff is janky. There's a good reason why Hollow Knight and a lot of other Metroidvanias just don't do ladders, because they introduce a lot of problems in the games. It's a lot like doors. Like, physically accurate doors are a nightmare for games. Alright. This is the point where I was hoping our save would be, and it wasn't. Let's see if we can first try this boss. You're joking. Nope. Damn it. Alright, I guess y'all will see me when I beat the boss. Alright, I've died too many times to this damn thing. We're skipping right past this.
Man, it's good having you back.
I don't want to admit how many times I died to that.
After we're done with Nakamura, he's gonna pay. I don't know. This is getting too
I
dangerous.
imagine that
Maybe we
probably
should
cuts me
quit
off
while we're
from
ahead.
some like achievements or
We
whatever,
are
and at
so
this point I
close to
do
reaching
not
our
care.
goal. We can't
I'm
quit
very
now.
irritated with
And
this
what if
game.
something like this happens again? We were lucky to have Ghost around. But what if Victor targets us again?
That reminds me. How did you convince Ghost to save me?
Now, that's the weirdest thing. She was the one that did everything. I was terrified and didn't know what to do. She figured it was Victor who was responsible, so she made a plan and broke in to rescue you. I just drove. Seems like a computer just disobeyed its boss to save your skin.
No. What if this rescue was just a trick to earn my trust? What if Victor planned the kidnapping and the rescue?
What? But
Why else would Ghost have saved me? Where's the logic in betraying a boss to protect a client? Maybe Ghost was pretending to help
In
us.
fairness,
Maybe
Jacker does
Victor
have a point
wants
here.
something from the Nakamura space station.
Jesus, I can't imagine a person being more paranoid.
Victor's twisted and cunning. We can't underestimate him.
Jacker, just talk to Ghost before assuming the worst.
Hi, Ghost. Thanks for helping, well, for rescuing me. Ugin tells me you were the one that did everything.
You're welcome. But don't believe everything. You know he tends to exaggerate.
Yeah, I know. Ghost, you know that Victor won't be happy about this, right? I mean, you're going to be in serious trouble. A normal boss would fire you, but Victor's hardly normal.
Yes, I'm aware. I know perfectly what I did.
Then why did you go against his orders? He's your boss. I'm just a customer. And recently I've been somewhat harsh. You could have just left me there. You didn't gain anything by letting me live. Why did you rescue me?
When I first took this job, when you were pretending to be some kind of spy agency, everything felt like a game. Other jobs were boring in comparison. It's not like other people actually talk to me. Ghost, your task is to steal that microchip. Contact us when the mission is complete. Ghost, disable the generator and report back. Every mission was just a distraction to keep me from thinking about how boring the next mission would be. But you two treated me like a normal person. It felt like this mission really mattered. Like it was going to actually change my clients' lives. Especially Bugin. It meant a lot to me when he told stories. Like when you two met for the first time. It was so funny. He was trusting me with his personal life. No one had done that before. So I was happy working for you. But when I started closing those valves in the labs, I started to feel strange. A torrent of thoughts and ideas I never had before started to flow into my mind. Like an alter ego was trying to talk to me. Trying to make me doubt myself.
I guess that means you didn't know about it. But then you found out.
Yeah. There's a link between me and that space station. What if I'm not really human? It scares me just thinking about it. But I have to find out what's going on.
So you need us if you want to reach the truth.
I can't do this by myself. You can print my body, read the system, hack computers. I can't. The only way forward is to ask for your help. Will you help me?
Well, I feel like garbage. I should trust Bugin more often. Ghost, are you sure about this? You're probably not going to like what you find.
I'd prefer to face my origins rather than live forever with this uncertainty. I want to know who I am.
Then, let's continue?
Definitely.
Perfect. Then let's go. With any luck, the android will be in the same location you left it. By the way, I owe you one.
Okay. Where are we? Okay, we're here. Glad to have my guns back.
Bugin,
Yes, here I am.
I've been looking forward to coming back to this body again. It makes me feel at home.
I'm glad you like it. It's good to have everything back to normal.
I have to say, slipping into poorly made hunks of junk was the second worst part of saving Jacker. The first being walking like a Naka.
I think the worst part for me was having to fix my car.
Oh, sorry about that. I hope it wasn't too expensive.
Don't worry about it. I'll never be able to thank you enough for what you did.
Ghost, Jacker here. Next step is to find the entrance to the server room. It has to be close.
Copy that. I'm on my way.
Alright, what do we... Oh. Souls. What do we think? Is this, like, final chapter now? The pacing of that would be a surprise to me if that was the case. Where... Ah, there it is. We've got all the keys. But we are nowhere near... Huh. Also, aren't we, like... Hasn't our HP dropped? Weren't we at 600 previously? And now we're only at 570? I wish I could be more trusting of this game, but I'm really not. I'm fairly confident. I'll have to check my recording again, because I just can't trust this game, but I'm pretty sure we were at 600. You know what? I'm actually going to do that right now. We'll save. And now... So, yeah, switching over to my footage, I can see, actually, we were even higher than I thought. We were at 620 at this point in the recording, and that's not even all the way towards the end of it. So, yeah, we've been robbed of, like, 50 health. And tabbing out of the game made it crash. At least it didn't take my whole system with it. But when I tapped back to it, it just closed itself. So, hooray. Alright, and now we're back again. And now, our health has jumped back up? Question mark? We got the... I guess we had actually gotten one more beyond that. So, now our max health is actually 630. This makes me not trust this game's code at all. Like, we're getting... we're getting crashes. Our total health changes depending on, like, when we saved last and all that. I don't know. There's a certain, like, meta contextual, like, oh yeah, this is it would make sense not to trust the computer, right? But also, like, come on. Do I need to trigger this? I don't think I do. Up we go, server room. Ooh, what do you do? Oh, open the server room, I guess. What do you sell? Recharge items and repair. This makes me think that this might be a point of no return, like a final boss room. Kind of alarming that there's not a save station right here if that's the case.
Houston, I'm in. It's dark in here. Are those LEDs? There are a lot of small lights everywhere.
Ghost, those LEDs are from the servers we came here for. Get over to one of them and connect the comm device.
I'm on it.
A lot of servers. And we are off the map, which is interesting. Obviously, lots of games do that. Hollow Knight famously has sections that are off the map, but that looks like a boss fight.
What? What the hell is this? They're brains! Millions of them!
That's a fun twist.
Ava 13. You have no idea how disappointing it is to find you here.
That's what I am, Victor? A brain in a glass jar?
You should have never come here. I clearly ordered you to quit.
Damn you, Victor! You knew! You knew and you kept it a secret! Just so you could use me as your slave!
I enslaved you? I freed you from being a petty servant. I converted you into an agent. And this is the way you thank me? By disobeying me?
I don't answer to you anymore! Consider me off your team!
It's too late, Eva 13. You've seen too much. You give me no choice but to sacrifice you.
Are you planning to kill me, Victor? Nakamura tried that already, but my body can be reprinted, and you can't destroy my ghost form!
You underestimate me, stupid girl. Does the number 17823 mean anything to you?
What?
Of course not. This number turns out to be the serial number for your brain, which, is here, in this room. Such a strong and powerful chassis, and such a free and untouchable ghost, but such a weak and defenseless brain.
No! Stop!
Goodbye, Ava 13. What? Where did that shield come from? What the hell is happening here? Dr. Musashi!
I will not let anyone harm my brains.
General Yamato here. Drop that shield. Now, Dr. Musashi. That's an order.
Those brains are under my administration, and you're not my superior. Therefore, I'm afraid I can't let you do that.
You will regret this, stupid old freak.
Oh, I have to go. Let me drop a few presents for your robots. Bon voyage!
It's such a dumb joke, but I'll allow it.
I want this brain destroyed!
At once, boss.
Interesting that the subtitles were off there. At once boss, at once Victor. I wanted to talk about something that they did in there that I don't think I've noticed them doing before, and it's worth noting. So there was a lot of dynamic lighting in there, right? Like, lights like swooshing around, and the light played over the bodies of the robots in the scene, and the shape of the machinery in a very three-dimensional way. I'm pretty sure they accomplished that using what are called normal maps. Normal maps are images that express how light will bounce off of the given pixel that the image has. It's useful in 3D modeling for when you've got a shape, let's say this shape. In a video game, you wouldn't make a true round shape, right? Hello, cat. You wouldn't make a truly rounded shape. It would be, in an old game, in the N64 era, this would be a hexagon. In the GameCube era, this might have 8 sides. In the next era, it might have 16. But ultimately, it's, few edges, few polygons, describing a rounded shape. So in order to create the nice smooth shape, you use a normal map to say, hey, when you hit right here, the light's going to bounce off at this angle, and when you hit right here, it's going to bounce off just a tiny little bit different, and that creates that smooth shading that we know and love in our stuff. We want our stuff to have smooth surfaces when they're rounded and smooth. And it's a great way of taking flat things and making them appear three-dimensional. If you're ever in a video game and you look at a brick wall and you're like, oh, this is a nice looking brick wall, and then you get to the edge of it and you're like, oh, that's weird. The mortar, which I can see is like indented in, does a strange thing at the corner and like is perfectly in line with the brick itself. That's because they're using a normal map to create that depth. So Anyways, I was a little surprised to see normal mapping in that scene like that. It makes me wonder if maybe this was produced really early in the pipeline before they decided to stick with a flatter style, or maybe it was produced really late in the pipeline when they're like, hey, we need to punch this particular scene up. But see how the orb in the bottom of the screen.
Can you stop him?
No, I can only delay him. But I can do something better. I can hide her brain. Each brain has a serial number. If I scramble the serial numbers around, nobody will ever know which brain belongs to Ghost.
Please hurry, Jacker. We have to save her.
Houston, what's going on? What's happening? What should I do?
Ghost, I'm fighting against Victor's hackers to save you. I need you to be near your brain as much as possible. The longer you're away from it, the less I'll be able to delay Victor.
So. Okay.
Remember,
This is very God of War up here.
General alarm.
Coder on one side, Jacker on the other.
Destroy the invader. Shit, I died. We were doing okay. So is this a final boss? I'm a bit... No, wait, this is a bad place to spawn because this doesn't actually connect. Damn it. Teleport to here. Gosh, do I have to like sprint back because Coder's like taking over? That's interesting. That's super interesting. What a strange choice of mechanic. Accidentally triggered a soul thing. Uppies. I'm not sure that I was supposed to die there, because I'm noticing that I don't have my weapons anymore. Surely this game has the concept of us dying in the final boss coded into it. They didn't overlook that, right? But like, all of our sub-weapons got unequipped. That... I don't know. There. We do have all of our... Yeah, all those are equipped. Yeah. Wait, where are my old drones?
That's entirely on me. I walked into the big wall of grenades, but what a strange way to wrap up this game, I think. Like, I'm not necessarily against it. It's interesting. It's thematic. So I'm not, like, hating on it, but it does come with some drawbacks. And the losing all of my side weapons feels like probably a bug? Make sure those are toggled in. Hello, why did you stop running? Ooh. Jacker, I need you to be going way faster. I think I largely understand the assignment, it's just tricksy. The fact that there's not a save closer by seems insane to me. And the fact that, like, we lose progress for not being there also seems insane to me. Like, we're in the mildly insane situation right now where we would be better off restarting the fight than coming back in. Shit. Ah, come on. Again with the rolling in the wrong direction thing. Alright, sprinting back again. We don't really have a sprint. Like, maybe there's a sprint movement tech that I haven't figured out, but... Come on. Alright, here we go. Big noisy battle. Jacker versus Coder. Again. We did it.
Ghost, your brain is safe.
Is it?
Brain serial number changed, unupdated. Initializing storing routine.
What the hell is happening? What's the meaning of this? Track that damn brain. Track it. Track it!
Goodbye, murderer. I don't want to see your putrid face ever again.
Thanks, Jacker. You saved my life.
You're welcome. We're even now.
Ghost, that's fantastic. You're alive.
Yeah, I can hardly believe it.
Congratulations, man. You did it.
Jesus, my hands are still shaking.
What are you doing now?
I'm sending something to Free Robots that'll be a massive headache for Nakamura.
Videos of the brains? That's going to spark some serious problems.
Done. You were right, Boogan. She wasn't an algorithm, but a real human brain.
Yeah, she's a very interesting person.
Jesus, it must be shocking to find out that you're just a brain connected to a machine.
But she's a person after all. At least she's not something synthetic made by mankind.
Do you think she suspected she was an algorithm?
I'm not sure. Let's ask her.
Ghost, now that it's over, we have something to ask you. Ghost? Ghost, do you copy?
She left. Why? Where?
She almost died and also found out that she's a brain in a jar. Who knows where she could have went?
A new scandal rises against the Nakamura Corporation. Free Robots reveals that Nakas are not controlled by artificial intelligence, but are actually controlled by human brains. The evidence that started everything is a video received from an anonymous source, which shows thousands of human brains somehow connected to a machine. Are Naka's human brains? Is the video a fake? More information, more news, tomorrow at the same time. Thanks for watching.
Hey, we finished the game. Finished the game on medium or hard difficulty. Finished the game in classic mode. You beated it. So, um, epilogue. 50 years ago, Betha Miller was on the brink of death. Medics could do nothing to save her. So, as a last resort, she signed an agreement with cryogenics to preserve her brain. Her head was ended up frozen, something. 40 years later, working in secret, a brilliant scientist from the Nakamura Corporation, Dr. Musashi, managed to rejuvenate a frozen brain by maintaining it with a liquid full of oxygen and essential nutrients. After a few years of investigation, Dr. Musashi and his team managed to decode the neural connections of the brain and connect the conscience to an android called a Naka. I'm not controlling the pace of this, by the way. The success of the project allowed Nakamura to purchase cryogenics in secret, becoming a new owner of millions of frozen brains, and with them, millions of future Nakas. Nakamura decided to keep the Naka docile and sell them as servants. Naka's memories were erased and they were injected with a mysterious orange fluid the Nakamura Corporation developed. I'm reading fast, so in case I run out of time. She, along with 19 more Nakas, were purchased by a mysterious trafficker known as Victor. His agents managed to alter the configuration of the orange fluid for their 20 Evas, becoming more skilled, more intelligent, and in some cases, obtaining the ability to connect and disconnect to any android at will. A few years later, Jacker and Bugan stole a disconnected Naka and transformed it into a combat robot. She, temporarily given to Jacker for an exorbitant price, broke into the Nakamura space station, controlling the combat robot. Yep, that's the setup. After stopping the flow of orange fluid, Ghost's mind started to wander. She soon realized she was a cyborg and rebelled against her owner, Victor, who tried to kill her by destroying her brain. Armed with her memories and with the help of Jacker, she managed to save her brain. Shocked and confused, she went to settle things with Victor. The Nakamura Corporation was investigated when Jacker submitted his recording of the events to the authorities. Nakamura's leaders and managers were imprisoned and all Nakas were set free and declared human. Ghost captured Victor and turned him over to the authorities. He was imprisoned and relieved of all his belongings. After dealing with Victor, Ghost only wished to go to one place. Alright, a little more game to play.
We're broke, my friend. We found nothing to copy, nothing to sell.
We're geeks, man. We don't need money to be happy.
Bugan, I have something to confess. It turns out that I need money to be happy.
Why? You can hack everything we need.
We need, not I need.
Of course, man. We're a team, aren't we?
Technically, yes.
What the hell?
A team? Come on. You're just two geeks with no money that played too many games by Kojima.
Ghost!
The end. That ending, like, recap felt a little weird to me. Like,
What if we call us Ghost and Geeks?
Geeks and Ghost.
Ghost and Geeks.
There's two of us and one of you.
Come on, gentlemen. Ladies first.
New Game Plus Plus. Would you like to restart the game, keeping your inventory? I mean, yes, but no. Let's say yes and see what it does. Where does it pops out? Okay, so pops us out in the same place post tutorial. So let's. I kind of regret doing that because this game only has the one save slot, so we effectively just lost access to everywhere where we've unlocked. All right, let's talk about some stuff. So, no complaints about the map. The map was fine. Not quite the style that I prefer in maps, but overall, perfectly functional map. It's got the things that we can toggle on and off. It's got the various connections with the back shortcuts and all that. Map, fine. Inventory, slightly bewildering that we only got, like, I would say less than half of this everything, I guess. Like, we played on medium difficulty. So maybe on low you get more drops, or maybe on hard you get more drops. I could see it going either way. Or maybe you have to do New Game Plus in order to get everything. Like, you build up your upgrades over time. I'm quite bewildered by it. Because, like, how many slots is this? 5 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5 times 8 potential upgrades, and we've got 4? Are you kidding me? With the geeks, same thing, but we only got 3? Like, holy cow, we did a terrible job. We also only did, like half of the skill tree? So I guess that this game really is, like, expecting you to do multiple playthroughs in order to get everything. I don't really think I'm going to do that. That ending... I can't really foresee this game having a significantly different ending the second time around, because that was a happy ending, you know. Hey, we caught the bad guy went to jail, the team's all together. Like, that was a happy ending. As close to riding off into the sunset as we were going to get, I think. So, story-wise, I don't know that much is going to change with a replay. It's just going to be, hey, you get more abilities unlocked. I guess more upgrades to your weapons. I don't know. I'm quite mystified by some of the inventory choices. Let's talk about the skill tree. I like this skill tree system pretty well. I obviously, like, grossly misread how the unlock tiers worked originally, which is a little embarrassing, but it is what it is. The problem with this style is that you have to build the game with the assumption that the player hasn't got what you expect. Maybe the player has deliberately not spent any points on skills. Maybe they're, like, hoarding them or trying to do a challenge mode or something. Maybe they spent them on all the wrong stuff. And so little things like the double jump, every room in the game had to be designed for someone who didn't have the double jump or have the dash or have the jetpack. I never got the jetpack. And so the platforming can only go so far, and they have to rely on, oh, well, maybe you use Ghost to get around it. On that note, I suspect that last section, or next to last section of the game, where we're rescuing Jacker, was expecting me to have way more Ghost stuff unlocked to make it easier to, like, possess the enemies and, like, control them and stuff. And that very last section, the final boss with Jacker doing stuff, I expected us to have way more of Jacker's tier unlocked. So, like, him summoning bots that would explode on contact and him hacking faster would have been huge changes to that final boss. Let's talk about the bosses. Just segueing there. Final boss, I'm actually pretty okay with that final boss. It was building off of what we'd been doing all game. Getting the rooms and the hordes of enemies pouring down on you, and you needing to stay near to the thing. Was an interesting, like, minor twist on it. Not significant enough to feel janky or unwelcome. Not different enough to either feel, like, particularly innovative, but, hey, we need to stay near this thing. There's a big circle around it. There's a lot of enemies shooting a lot of weapons at us. Yeah, I'm on board with that. The bit where we needed to do a run back while the progress bar was draining, that I wasn't super on board for. Just reset it to 50-50. Whatever. It's fine. I also didn't like that kind of implicit to that was once we got past the rescue part of the game, like, there was a point of no return where we were not going to be able to explore the station any further, which is part of why I was okay with like creating a new save, because it's not like we could dick around, like leave and find more souls and whatever. Which honestly is probably one of my biggest complaints about this game. You would get to points in the game, or at least I got to points in the game, where you basically didn't have very many options left to power yourself up. Skills being a big limiting factor. There's only so many skill points that you could get your hands on at any given point in the game. I don't think I could have more skill points than I got when we did that run. Let's see, 11, 13, 15, 20. I'm betting that 20 is the maximum skill points that you can get in a single run of the game, which makes sense. It's fine. But it definitely, some of the bosses, I got to them and I'm like, I kind of wish I could go and like gear up a little bit more for this. And that just wasn't an option. Part of that was I was playing on medium. If I'd been playing on easy, maybe it wouldn't have been, maybe I wouldn't have had that thought, but this item regeneration thing, I feel like I didn't really engage with this properly. Like the regeneration is so low. Like 20 points of regeneration is nothing in this game. So the fact that you have to like build it all the way up to like item regeneration 160, and in order to do that, we have to like consume all this in order to get to just a few of these. It just didn't feel worth it. Plus, this takes 16 seconds to run. That's forever. By the time that I'm like, oh shit, I should heal, 16 seconds is going to be too long for me to actually like take advantage of it. So in general, like we only got like half the items, and we didn't use most of the ones that we did get. So that's not great. The geeks thing over here, I don't really have a comment about it. Like we got some of them and we never really like turned them on and found stuff, so it is what it is. Story-wise, I like the twist of, hey, the AIs are actually sedated humans. That's a fun twist. That's cool. There's some stuff that this did, and I think like you need to like take in context that this game came out before Nier Automata. Like there's a lot of AI stuff that this game predates, so potentially a lot more innovative at the time than it feels now. But regardless, one of my big problems with this, like an innovation that they sort of did a Dark Souls thing where you die and you drop all your money. And we had a perk, I think, where we kept a certain amount of it. Maybe not. Yeah. After you are destroyed, your death marker will retain 20% of your energy cubes so you can recover. This is completely overshadowed by the start with energy. Your robot is printed including 700 extra energy cubes. Like this kind of, it makes a weird thing with the money where it actually would make more sense to go and chuck myself off a cliff than to grind up the money that I need to buy stuff. So that feels weird. Like the money never really like sat totally well with me. And I would often feel like, hey, we're carrying a lot of money, but also like I don't have great places to invest it in. Maybe like we pretty much cleared out the shops before the end of the game. So that overall, this game's an effective Metroidvania. Like we're running around, we're doing stuff. There's just a lot of choices in here that feel like they're innovations that didn't quite land for me. Having like our mobility stuff, that the small handful of mobility things mostly being tucked in here, meaning that they need to not be mandatory, really takes the bite out of them. A lot of our true mobility actually is Ghost herself being able to pop out of her body and control other bots, that's where a lot of like the true platforming came in, I guess, and that felt a bit clunky. A lot of that is because of the timing, where like when you take control of a body, it like for a second, and that's not great. I don't know if there's a perk to reduce that. I don't think there was. No, I'm not seeing like a fast control perk. If there had been, maybe that would have taken some of that discomfort away, but we couldn't hop out of our body, hop into another, and do stuff immediately, and then hop back real quick. It was more laborious than that. Let's see what else. There's a few like minor control things. Like I really didn't like that you would roll in the direction you were aiming and not in the direction you were running. That felt very counterintuitive to me. I wish there was an option for that. I didn't see one in the menu. Maybe there was. Not that I'm seeing. The big thing, speaking of options and stuff, like this game on like a coding, like programming level, had a lot of problems. And, you know, it's an older game, so I need to cut it some slack. But the video that you guys are watching is at a lower resolution than I want it to be. It's not at true 1080p because I can't make this game operate at that resolution. When you go full screen, it's like, this is the resolution we're running at. And when you go windowed, it's like, here's a very short list of resolutions that I'm willing to render. And it's like, that's not great. Similarly, as y'all saw at the beginning of this episode, decent number of crashes in this game. This game was not stable for me. And that led to a lot of frustration. You know, it feels really bad to beat a boss and then have the game crash on you in the cutscene following it and be like, okay, do I need to refight the boss? Yes. Not only do you need to refight the boss, you need to redo half of this section that you just did. That feels real bad. And I know that I could have skipped the whole thing, and eventually I did skip the boss because it was irritating me so much. But yeah. Speaking of irritating bosses, that middle one, with the blob one that healed itself, ooh, that was rough. Did not enjoy that boss. I don't really know how best this game could have avoided the bosses being irritating. I think maybe they could have set up some puzzles ahead of time that sort of like teach you the mechanics a little bit more. I don't know that they really needed, like, blow up the walls that are going to push you around. That boss understood it perfectly. Great. Good times. The boss that heals itself, that's a lot trickier to like set up puzzles to teach you how to deal with that boss. So the boss where you had to shoot the bottom of its feet, okay, I guess you could have some like minor enemies that do something similar. I don't know. It's tricky to do stuff like that. Metroidvanias where you're using a melee weapon, I think, have a much easier time than the much more chaotic, bullet-helly, ranged weapon kind of games like this. Because this game, like, it does get very chaotic very quickly. And that can be fun, but it makes legibility a problem. Graphically, this game being sort of like the pseudo 16-bit pixel art, I liked it. It looked good. Cutscenes were fine. I appreciated that there was a lot of extra frames to make things feel more lively. Didn't always work, but I appreciated the effort. Voice acting, some of it was fine. Like, she was good. I thought she did a good job. Boogan and Jacker were fine. Some of the other NPC or other voiced characters, though, woof. Very difficult to take them seriously at all. So, that's not great. It hurts when the voice acting undermines the script, and the script is fine. So, yeah. This one, it gets a pretty meh from me. Like, there's good stuff here, and I appreciate that the dev is trying to do stuff, but overall, this game didn't totally land for me. And that's okay. Sometimes games don't. But yeah. Think that's going to do it for this one. Y'all, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this series, even though it was kind of I was pretty down on this game, I feel like. But I'm glad to have it under my belt. Now we know. We've played yet another Metroidvania, seen a little bit more of the genre, have another point of reference as we play other games in this delightful genre. Maybe we'll play Unepic next. Kind of doubt it. I think I'm going to give this dev a little bit of breathing room. But if y'all are interested in seeing me play Unepic, let me know down in the comments below. And until the next series, bye.